Hello, thank you for joining with me. We are in Ken Wapnick's Journey Through the Text of A Course in Miracles. We are on Chapter 4, The Illusions of the Ego. This is the section titled Jesus. Jesus teaches us, and this is from the text, you dream of a separated ego and believe in a world that rests upon it. On the chart, a dream of a separated ego is shown in the wrong-minded box, and the mind's projected dream gives rise to the world's dream of form. We believe that the phenomenal universe is real only because we have first believed that the mind's dream of separation is reality. This is very real to you. You cannot undo it by not changing your mind about it. The only way we can undo the belief in the world's reality is to change our minds. Yet how can this be done if we do not know we have one? The importance of this theme in Jesus' teaching is seen by its continual recurrence. It was central to Chapter 2, as the reader may recall. If you are willing to renounce the role of guardian of your thought system and open it to me, I will correct it very gently and lead you back to God. Jesus asks us to allow Him to look at the ego with us. When we guard and defend our thought system of specialness, we deny its illusory nature and thereby say in essence that there is no thought system in the world, in the mind, in the world. I don't know where that came from. There is certainly one in the world, but it is not ours, as we are born with a blank slate, a tabula rasa, on which the world writes its thought system of separation and separate interests. This is why we believe there is a world outside us, into which we are born as innocent, helpless creatures. Jesus is helping us realize that this thought system is in the mind, not the world, and He pleads with us to choose Him as our teacher in order to correct the erstwhile decision for the ego. Every good teacher hopes to give his students so much of his own learning that they will one day no longer need him. This is the one true goal of the teacher. It is impossible to convince the ego of this because it goes against all of its own laws. But remember that laws are set up to protect the continuity of the system in which the lawmaker believes. It is natural for the ego to try to protect itself once you have made it, but it is not natural for you to want to obey its laws unless you believe them. The ego cannot make this choice because of the nature of its origin. You can because of the nature of yours. Jesus cautions us against listening to the ego since its dedication to preserving its individual identity prejudices any advice it would give us. Anytime we find our inner guidance is accentuating and preserving our separation from others, we can be sure that the mind has chosen the wrong teacher. The ego cannot do otherwise, but we can because the power of decision is ours. As we learn of the power of the mind to choose and become increasingly right-minded, we grow to become more and more like Jesus until His teaching is no longer necessary. Our having learned His lessons totally. In that final holy instant, which is the precursor to the real world, our experience of ourselves and Jesus as separate entities disappears as we remember that God has but one Son, whose name is Christ. To help us achieve that glorious state of remembrance, Jesus continues with His teaching, helping us look at what our minds have chosen as the substitute for God's perfect knowledge. It has never really entered your mind to give up every idea you ever had that opposes knowledge. Originally meant for Helen, this plea is for all of us to abandon all ego ideas and thoughts, not just some of them. And I'm going to go ahead and stop there today. I thank you so much for joining with me, and we will pick up here tomorrow. I hope you have a beautiful day. I love you. Bye-bye.